The way I like to say it is we're not going to spend too much time on crossing T's and dotting I's with like the specific paver or the specific plant or the
Yeah,
specific
exactly.
mulch or specific rock. Let's figure out the general layout. Let's figure out what the features we're going to be putting in are. Let's
Mhm.
talk through that, walk through that. And as we finalize what, where, and why, then we'll look at exact materials and make some of those selections. So we haven't finalized or really projected any
Yeah.
budgets or and honestly that's good, because that's where the design is going to come in and we can show her at least kind of the short, sweet, and simple, and then we can show her more of the extravagant and a little more custom. It leads me to my next question. What is the style? Did they put this decking in? Have you been inside the house? Are they natural and rustic, or are they modern and more contemporary? Do you have a feel for their style or?
We didn't spend a whole lot of time inside, but I would lean more towards the natural kind of rustic feel. She had a few areas that have kind of gotten out of control, but she had like some butterfly and pollinator gardens. She had said like an exotic garden, like I think just like more of like some tropicals in certain areas.
Specimen pieces.
She said everybody likes coming to the backyard. They just feel like it's very peaceful and tranquil, and they can just kind of relax and spend a lot of time just sitting there with their thoughts.
That gives me a good idea. And obviously, they found your company, so they're probably leaning more towards natural. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Kind of feel vibe. So I like that. The grill, that's just like a roll out standard box store grill right now.
Yeah, yeah. So that might be a good selling point. Like, I briefly met the husband, and when he was coming out, I like just told her numbers. She was like, "Don't tell him the numbers. I'm gonna have to work on him a little bit." So if we had, an element for him in it, I think that might be also help make the deal. This is his cooking area. This is where he cooks, but it was just that old paper patio with like a Walmart grill on it or something. Nothing fancy.
And my God, he's got a melt out there when he's grilling.
Pergola or some sort of covering.
I know they got a lot of trees back there, but there's a good portion of that side where you're just probably melting.
That backyard faces west, so when you're out there in the afternoon, I would imagine that spot where she's talking about hanging out, where that little table is going to get some sun for a while until those trees start to block the.
Once we review the plans, right, and we start talking some of the projected numbers and we sit with them for a little bit, we're going to start to get a good understanding of kind of where the limit's at, what they do or they don't want or are not interested in. From that, we can begin to kind of determine the next appropriate step, right? Go back to the drawing board, refine the design a little bit, get within better budgets, eliminate some items, or we've now opened up so many doors of opportunity that they're intrigued. They want to start figuring out, they like it. How much does it cost? And because we haven't spent too much time in regards to crossing our T's and dotting our I's with pricing, we don't really do that until we've pre-qualified that a bit more. And really that's throwing these designs in front of them and saying, hey, this is going to range in a budget of 120, 140. And then we put you together another plan. It might range between 140 and 170. But here's the differences. You can choose. We can determine what you like. And at the end of the day, we're going to figure out real quick if your budget is the determining factor or if your wants and desires are the determining factor. And that's really what it comes down to. And that's where the design takes over. And then the ball is in their court and they really come to and they say, hey, look, we don't really want to invest more than this. We like the idea. We like the plan, but how can we make it more economical, right? Or they say, you know what? I love it. How much does it cost? I'm pulling money out. I want to do it all at once. Let's go
Yeah.
for it. It's like going on a road trip with somebody. We're going to have plenty of rest stops and, bites to eat and conversations along the way as we continue. And we're not in a rush. Like, we're not in a rush to get a deposit. We're not in a rush to figure out all the specifics right now, as much as we want to use the design to give us a really good frame of how we can then serve our clients next. And what the design is going to do is it's going to frame it up two ways. ways and really show them, and then they can determine what fits them. And that's where I've seen great success in getting outside the box a little bit, not staying stuck to just putting prices together and projecting costs in front of a client, saying like, let's actually put pricing in the backseat. Let's look at this project and figure out what are the opportunities. Let's learn more about you, figure out how we can use our skill set and what we have to offer to create you something so custom for your backyard that you want to move forward with the project and invest. And it doesn't come down to line items and prices. It comes down to dreams and wants and desires. Some clients make decisions based on what they want and what they like, and it doesn't matter what it costs. Mm-hmm. Some have to make decisions on what they can get because of cost. Two different clients, right? So appreciate you, Cameron. Enjoy the rest of your day.